Did anybody see that 2014 teaser image of the next Call of Duty? Ooh, it looks so detailed. Look at all that skin detail and all that, man. Well, I don't know. That guy kind of reminds me of Sergeant Foley from Modern Warfare 2. You know, the guy who tells Ramirez to do everything. That's just my opinion, but it looks alright. But like I said, it's a teaser image, so there's not really much we can judge from the next game based on just that image alone. So let's get on to the main topic here, which is my Call of Duty 2014 wish list. Now, I do have the wish list itself within the description below in text format, but the list was so huge, so I figured why not just go down the list and take out the most important features and talk about them within this commentary. So I'm going to start off with number one on my list, which is the kill streak system. So the streaks in Ghosts are really weak, and I like that because it restores gun on gun. But if people think that the streaks were boring, then maybe add more ingenuity to the streaks in the next Call of Duty game, but at the same time, keep them weak to the point where it doesn't help the player too much where it kills gun-on-gun gameplay. Points should be rewarded more for the objectives as well as the skill of their pursuits. Bring back the score streak system from Black Ops 2, but add more emphasis on objectives. For example, if you're playing Team Deathmatch, you can get points for kills and assists, but why not more points for headshots, sprees, and chains? Or if you're playing Kill Confirmed, you get bonus points for how many tags you collect in a single life, something like that. The strike packages, they should definitely keep, like Assault, Support, and Specialist, because I like to have more choice. But at the same time, I don't think all three of those rewards should be linked to each custom class, because say I'm running support for all my classes, and I decide to switch my weapon up. Oh no, I lose all of my points I gained. That's not kind of unfair. I like it to where you only select 3 streaks in Black Ops 2, and if you select 3 streaks and get into a match, then, you know, you can't really change your streaks around, but you can change your custom classes without the fear of losing any points that you've earned. Last thing, no more 25 kill streak nukes or Moabs, because it just kills objective play in general. People just want to go for nukes and Moabs the whole time. And, like, the guy just, like, it makes no sense, because there's really no benefit to earning them. It's just for bragging rights. But who's going to remember that you got a Moab yesterday? Who's going to remember? Nobody. Even if you post it on YouTube, people are still going to forget about it. So really, there's no point to even adding them. Next thing on my list revolves around the snipers. Now, you know sniper rifles. They're supposed to be long-range weapons, but they're also supposed to be ineffective at close range. The game Black Ops 1 clearly understood that snipers had to be balanced in this way, by gimping quickscoping. They should do this again for Call of Duty 2014, because after Black Ops 1, a proper gimp was never applied again, and it resulted in snipers being super effective at close range, a range they're not supposed to be super effective. I mean, how would you feel if shotguns could snipe people from across the map, you know? That wouldn't be balanced at all, and people would hate it. Same thing with sniper rifles, only reverse the ranges around. I know it has appeal to it and all that, and I know the sniper community is big out there, but the balance of the weapon should be restored the way it used to be, because it just doesn't make sense for sniper rifles to win at close range engagements, especially against a shotgun. Next part of my list is kind of small, but then again, I think it would make a big impact upon the speed of the game itself by making it even faster and more of a twitch shooter than we already realized it could be. What if fast ADS, ADS recovery, and fast strafing were all automatically bestowed upon each player? Meaning, no more perks, no more attachments to become faster. Everybody's faster, and everyone reacts the same way, and I think this breeds more equality within the multiplayer itself. For equipment, please, for the love of God, no IEDs. You know, I would rather have Black Ops 2 bouncing better than Claymores, and the reason why is because at least those pieces of equipment from Black Ops 2 had more of a negative aspect to it. Claymores can only face in one direction. Bouncing Bettys can be dodged by crouching or going prone. For IEDs, they basically took the most positive features of Bouncing Bettys and Claymores, put them together, and didn't realize that this equipment barely had a major negative against it. The only negative against IEDs is if you were lucky, or if you ran sitrep and or blast shield, you know. The equipment itself was too powerful to a point where it forced people to equip sitrep and or blast shield. You know, yeah, sometimes you could survive against IEDs, but the major point of it is that they weren't balanced enough. As for C4, it should not be able to be detonated in mid-air. It should only detonate a second after landing on the surface, because the way you see C4 now, it's more of a frag grenade than an actual piece of equipment used for traps. And it's especially even more annoying when shield users can use this piece of equipment so effectively in, say, search and destroy. You are sick of that stuff in Ghosts. And it even happened in Black Ops 2, so they should just definitely nerf C4 to the point where it's not nerfed as in damage-wise, but again, should not be detonated in mid-air. Also, there should not be any explosive enhancing perks like Danger Close. I don't know how we made that mistake again. I assumed we learned our mistakes in Modern Warfare 2, but apparently in Ghost that wasn't quite so. Lastly, tac inserts should definitely return, but they could be more balanced. For example, this is just my little idea, this can all change, but what if they added a cooldown period for it? For example, if you die and respawn, and you die again and respawn on your insertion, more time should be added for the equipment to cool down. For example, it'll take 10 more seconds until you can lay the equipment down again. And if you die again shortly after you planted it, it'll add more time so that you don't plant it down as quickly. This results in slowing down boosting and making them a little bit more less viable in objective modes. And of course, the piece of equipment will definitely be completely disabled for free-for-all. For game modes, they definitely should add some classics back because we kind of miss them in Ghosts, like Headquarters, Capture the Flag, Party Games, even some people miss Demolition. But they should also have those slight variations within their own playlist. For example, a variation of Team Deathmatch is Cranked. What if they just put that together in its own playlist? I know Capture the Flag wasn't that popular, so why not just add more variations of flag-based modes in one playlist? You got your Capture the Flag, maybe your one flag Capture the Flag should be in there, and another mode called Defender. Now, I know you're thinking, Defender from Modern Warfare 3? Not exactly. They should add a mode where if you hold the flag, you gain points for your team over time. It's kind of like a mobile domination or oddball for your Halo fans. Multi-team should also return, but it shouldn't be in their own game type. It should just be available to vote for based on the party sizes of the pre-game lobby. For example, if parties of 4 or less are within the lobby itself, then 3-team game modes can sometimes become available to vote on. And if parties of 3 or less are in the pre-game lobby, then 4-team modes can sometimes appear within the voting area. I know some of you will probably think, oh, that can't be good for the spawns, but I'll get to that next. For the maps, I know they all look good, and I know there's more interactivity and stage destruction. I like that. But to make them more interesting, what if they added random weather patterns as well as different times of day for that one map? It's tiresome to just see the same daytime map. Why not have the ability for that map to sometimes take place at night or sometimes during a heavy rainstorm? And I talked about earlier about how multi-teams would sometimes influence the spawns might be a little crazy. What if every single map in the game was gigantic, right? Bear with me here. Depending on the size of the lobby, the size of the map will restrict itself. Cut off certain areas to make the map smaller. They did this before in Black Ops 1, if you can remember. If you ever play party games and you have like 6 people, notice that the map itself blocks certain areas in order for the map itself to become smaller. They should definitely do this for certain playlists. If you play Ground War, then every map should be good for Ground War. If you're playing 6v6, then the map itself should be restricted in size to incorporate this lobby. That way the action itself remains fast-paced, because you definitely don't want to play a 4v4 match on Stonehaven. For gosh sakes, it's such a big map for a small playlist. And that pretty much concludes my Call of Duty 2014 wish list. There are more ideas that I have, and I didn't mention them in the commentary because the commentary itself would be like 20 minutes long. But if you want to see that list again, go to the description below, and you'll see the little link right there. I'll add it right there. So, yeah, I hope Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, Treyarch hears these ideas. I know not everybody will agree with them, but if you did appreciate some of my ideas, or you had your own to add, or even if you didn't like some of my ideas and you thought something else should be different, please leave a comment below. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching, everybody.